Hello everybody, my name is Cassandra. I am the witch, the spiritualist, the founder and creator of Magic of Eden. Thank you so much for coming on to my YouTube channel. Your presence is greatly appreciated. And I just felt like I wanted to come on here to kind of talk to you guys about something that was on my heart and that was on my mind yesterday. I'm just going to be really raw. I'm going to be very honest. So yeah, here we go. So anyway, it's taking me a lot of guts to come on here and say this. It's taking me a bit more energy than what I would like. And so I'm just gonna say it. So basically yesterday, as I was doing my hair, I got this thought that I normally get every now and then, a little bit more than what I would like to be honest. And the thought was, what or how do I want people to remember me when I die? And I used to ask myself this question a lot, actually, and I think the reason why I asked this question a lot was because I felt like I was always one of those people that felt like they needed to fit into this certain stereotype or box in order to service or please other people. And I think that comes with the territory of me, living or riding down a path of not knowing exactly who I was, or not knowing who I was as a woman, not knowing who I was as a child, especially growing up in certain circumstances. And this is not to attack any of my parents. This video is not to attack anybody that knows me. This is not to attack anybody that I felt that I was attacked by when I was younger. Nor is this a video trying to out people who I felt wrong with me or whatever, because we all make mistakes. We live and we learn. But the reason why I feel like I wanted to come and make this video was because, for one, I felt called to. I really do feel like Spirit led me to make this video, and I'm not even really deep into the video yet, and I already feel like I want to cry. And the reason why I feel like I want to cry is because I'm a person who, it takes a lot for me to come out and speak. In front, first of all, from like large groups of people, but it also takes a lot for me to be vulnerable. And so vulnerability is, honestly, it's something that is very scary. Vulnerability, it's like if you hear anything in the background, I'm sorry, it's my son. But anyway, moving on. Vulnerability does not come easy. Vulnerability does come, with the price, so to speak, and vulnerability does come with responsibility. And I'm saying all this to say that through all of my trials, through all of my tribulations, through all of my traumas, I feel that it was because of that I now am able to discover who I am, and those same pebbles, those same prints led me to magic. And this was years ago, by the way. And I've been doing the craft for a while now, and I can tell you that magic saved my life. Magic helped me get through one of the darkest times of my life, where I did not value myself at all. I was very suicidal from a very young age up, and I was extremely suicidal. And the reason why was because I felt like I started to kind of mold myself I started to scope myself into a mold that mirrored other people's afflictions and their own insecurities. And as a child, I did feel like I was the outlet, or the anger outlet, for a lot of people. And I know that I'm not really articulating this in a very intelligent manner. Forgive me. I can really only use kind of simple words right now to kind of get my point across. But I said that to say that I always felt like I had to fit in this certain box, or like I had to fix myself in order for me to be acceptable by other people. And for me, living my life, in the shadows, I didn't even see my shadow. And the thing is that I didn't even realize that I have been living in my shadow for a really long time. And that comes with the territory of your parents not knowing who they are. And then you have family members who don't know who they are either. And so it just becomes this perpetual cycle of unknowingness and void and darkness, because nobody knows. And for a long time, I felt like I lived in an abyss of just darkness and unknowingness and just lack of self-worth and self-love and, all this other stuff that you can even think of. Like, honestly, I feel like growing up, sorry guys, it's taken me a minute, because, vulnerability with me, it's wild. Could be my sun sign, because I'm a Capricorn sun. I am a Capricorn sun. So anyway, yes. So anyway, I'm saying all this to say the point that I'm making is that all of these things, all of these pebbles led me to the shore of my own magic. And if it hadn't have been for magic, if it hadn't been for me working my magic and, you know, practicing my craft and, you know, practicing hoodoo and things like that, you know, and getting into these, you know, different spiritual practices, I feel like I would have never found myself. And I feel like I probably would have ended up committing suicide. I'm not kidding. And this is definitely a trigger warning for some people. But yeah, I used to think of different ways to like kill myself, and I used to think of different ways like I said, to kill myself. And I just thought of like, I just used to think, I had this really, really, really negative mindset. I would think that it would all be better if I just ended. But the thing was something was ringing in the back of my mind telling me, this is not the answer. This is not the way to go, and you are stronger than that. And from a very young age, for as long as I can remember, even remembering, I always had this voice telling me, hey, you know, it's okay. And now that I understand myself, you know, as an infinite being, I know that that was nobody but me, my higher self, my guides, my spirit guides, my angels, my ancestors, guiding me, letting me know that I did have more of a purpose and that I do have a message to share with people. And the whole reason for Magic of Eden, see, and the thing is like, I know that sometimes we get caught up in, you know, like these labels and these names for like our businesses and things like that. And sometimes we say, oh, you know, I started this business at, you know, at this date. But what I honestly feel like for a lot of people, especially with spiritual businesses, I feel like our businesses, our names of businesses has been brewing since we left the womb. Everything that happens in our life leads us to a certain moment. Nothing is ever by accident. So in my case, what I feel like was all the bullying that I endured when I was younger, because I used to get bullied, it turned me, honestly, I'm going to say this, it turned me really bitter. I was so bitter. Somebody would look at me and I'd be like, what the fuck are you staring at? Like, you know, I was so bitter. I was angry. I was hurt. And I felt like I had to hurt other people before they would hurt me so that I wouldn't be left with the bad end of the stick. And the thing is, even though I didn't do it very often, I still was holding on to that bitterness. I was still holding on to those roots. I wouldn't weed it out. I wouldn't weed these things out because all I knew how to do was hold on to this perpetual cycle of negativity. That's all that I knew. And I will also be honest and say that even during, you know, that time of my life, I still felt like I wanted to help people. I still felt like I wanted to give my all to people. I still felt like I wanted to share things with people. I still gave people chances. I still loved people, and I loved hard. I would fight into the death. Like, I would fight into the death for other people, but I noticed that I wouldn't do the same for myself because I felt like it was better if I valued other people more than myself. And what leads me to say this is that I know that there is somebody out there that had gone through the same thing. Or I know that somebody is probably going through that now. And the reason why I'm so emotional is because oftentimes when you have people like this, we don't understand, you know, how empathetic we are, and we don't understand our power, and we don't understand our glory, and we don't understand that we too deserve to live a life without limitation. And so all the love that we gave to other people, we need to understand how harnessing that for ourselves is just as vitally important. And magic taught me a lot of that. And the thing is, like, I know that people, you know, demonize magic. Oh, that's horrible. That's negative. That's bad. Witches are bad. You know what? You can say whatever the fuck you want. And I'm only being real and I'm only being honest and raw. You can say whatever the fuck you want. My thing is that if it hadn't been for magic, I wouldn't know who my shadow is. If it hadn't been for magic, I wouldn't even be here in this apartment. This apartment was manifested. I'm not kidding. I did the magic ritual. An opportunity presented itself and I took it, and lo and behold, I set my intention for so many things. And I actually want to kind of give this, I want to make this another video because I actually did a reading for myself, and this was a reading where I was just so open and vulnerable, and I just ended up discovering the root of it all. You see what I'm saying? And like, it was at that time when I did, excuse me, I'm sorry, my son's in the background, but it was at that time, it was at that moment, you know, when I did, you know, the reading for myself, where it finally clicked. And this was me, you know, doing tarot, and I was doing oracle. Like, and I love tarot a lot more than oracle, but I'll do oracle too. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that me, you know, diving into tarot helped me dive into my mind. Me, YouTube, please don't flag me. And I am not encouraging the use of any illegal drugs or substances, so please do not feel this way. I am not saying that whatsoever. But I ended up taking shrooms. I ended up taking magic mushrooms. I didn't do it to be cool. I didn't do it to be in a, you know, I didn't do it like in a very social setting or anything like that. I did it because I started to understand the power of herbs and how it can heal me, and how now I'm starting to intake them to cleanse out my body and things like that. But I ended up taking shrooms, and I took them quite a few times. I'm pretty sure I had an ego death at one point. It didn't take really much for me to have an ego death, because I had only tried them twice. That's another video. If you want to hear about that, just go ahead and let me know in the sorry, not the description, but in the comment section. I'll tell you all about it. But if it hadn't been for me exploring my mind and really understanding who I am and really understanding my power, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I can go more into detail about that in another video. But the whole purpose of this video, the whole purpose of this rant, was to let somebody know that if you are a person who is struggling with anything, if you are a person who is struggling with low self-esteem, whether it be because of body image, whether it be because you feel like you should be at a certain point in your life, or, you know, if you feel like you've been, you know, going through too much abuse, because I know what that feels like. I'm here to let you know that your trauma is there because there is something in you that people can learn from. People can learn from your traumas. People can learn from your tribulations. People can learn from the things that you've been through. There is a leader in you. There is a light in you that you need to share with the world. You have a message. And don't let anybody dim your light. And I know that it's easier said than done, but I'm here to tell you that if I had continued to live to those expectations that other people had for me, I wouldn't be here. Magic of Eden wouldn't even exist. The stuff you see back here wouldn't exist right now. And it was because of these things that I had created, that I handcrafted, I wouldn't be where I am. And this is not to sell you anything. This is not to be a sales pitch. I am just saying, even if you didn't want to get anything from me, you don't have to. What I am saying, and you don't even have to follow magic, and you don't have to do psychedelics. It doesn't matter. Whatever steps you need to take in order to find you, in order to become yourself, take those steps. The biggest or the most powerful thing of existence is the mind. Because without the mind, without thoughts, without those sinusoidal waveforms, without those sine and cosine waves, none of this would exist. We wouldn't be existence. And the universe is leading us, the universe is telling us, do not live your life with limitation. You were not designed to do that. The universe was not made with limitation. There is no such thing as limitation when it comes to the universe. Why should there be for you? If you are a person who believes that you are the universe having a human experience, or if you believe that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, why do we limit ourselves? Why do we feel the need to do that? Why do we let somebody else dictate where we should and should not go? Why are we allowing other people to lay down pebbles in which they don't even know how to form themselves or follow themselves? Why do we do this? It's because genuinely a lot of people just don't know how to live. And I hope that whoever this video reaches, I hope that it reaches the right person who needs to hear it. You are loved, you are appreciated, you are cherished, and you are everything you need to be in this moment. And it's not even just about who you are now, it's also about who you can become. I promise you, everything is going to be okay. And if you don't have enough people around you telling you that, I am telling you that. Because I know what this feels like. And I know what it feels like. It took me a lot of guts to come on here. And I'm fighting back a lot of tears right now because I can go deeper into this. I can go deeper into this, but I'll spare you the time. But anyway, I feel like my rant is over. I feel like I just really needed to get that out there. I hope that I actually end up posting this video. I hope I do. I apologize for all of the distractions, but this is as real as it's gonna get. Like this is just my life right now. And here at Magic of Eden, that's what we're all about. Like I know that may not be the best of quality of a video, but at the end of the day, I felt like I needed to get this message out there. So Having said that, I appreciate all of you for listening. For the few people who did listen, I appreciate you for just, like I said, listening to me rant. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And again, I set the intention that this reaches exactly who it needs to at the right time. Even if it only reaches 2 people, I hope that it helps you in some way. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see more, videos on vulnerability, let me know. If you want to know ways that and rituals that I did in order to help me get this far, let me know down in the comment section. I will make sure that I do that for you. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye.